There are stories we believe start well, neat stories, orderly, almost exemplary, and yet, one day, they take a turn, a breath, a glance, a need we've buried for too long, and everything we thought was solid begins to crack. Her name was Élise, 34, a modern woman, not fragile, not particularly strong either, just human, tired of pretending, tired of waiting. For what, exactly? She met Jonathan when she was 23, a friend of a friend, a man who didn't speak much, but always said things with intention. He wasn't the funniest, nor the most handsome, but he had something, calm, reassuring. Their relationship was gentle, a little shy, not the kind to rush things. They liked the same movies, listened to the same music, laughed at the same absurd details. It wasn't a wild passion, but it was deep tenderness and a kind of promise. The kind that says, let's never hurt each other. They got married 2 years later. A simple ceremony. Warm, proud parents, emotional friends, and most of all, that look Jonathan gave her at the altar. A sincere gaze, almost vulnerable, as if he was saying, I choose you, for real. Then came life as a couple. Then the routine, but a beautiful routine. A bright apartment, rushed mornings, evenings spent reimagining the world on a worn-out couch. Then, Lucas, their first child. Then Zoe, the little one. And from there, everything changed. Sleepless nights, bottles, colic, diapers, crying, little laughs too. But above all, the growing distance. They still loved each other, but differently. Less in gestures, less in words, more in duty. Jonathan had changed, not in a bad way. He focused on work, on money, on deadlines. He wanted to provide. Élise had put her career on hold, then returned part-time, then full-time. But nothing resembled the dream she once had. She didn't complain. She pushed through. She ran the household, the kids, the medical appointments, the meals, the groceries, the laundry. And in all that, she lost herself. Then one day, she met Enzo, a new engineer at the office. Quiet, focused, a bit distant, but with those honest eyes. Troubling. Their first exchange was ordinary. A mistake in a file, a few words, a polite smile. Then, a silence that said more than words. In the following days, she started looking for him, waiting for him to pass, anticipating their encounters. She felt guilty, at first. Then he invited her for a coffee, just one, to talk work. But they talked about kids, about exhaustion, about that strange feeling of always being elsewhere. Never quite where you're supposed to be. He was married, Sophia, 3 kids, a structured life. But he spoke with that tone, the kind people use when no one ever really listens. She listened. He looked at her, and one day, he placed his hand over hers. A simple gesture, but it shattered something inside her. They kissed for the first time in a storage room. The door closed, lights off. The world stopped, just for a minute. But that minute changed everything. They started seeing each other, in hotels, in his car, in dark corners of the parking garage, always discreet. Enzo was careful. Sophia could never know. And Élise, she let herself drift. It wasn't just desire. There was something deeper. A bubble, a parallel world, a place where she felt alive. He made her laugh. He listened to her. He talked about her, not about what she did, but who she was. And she clung to that. But as months passed, it wasn't enough. She wanted more. She wanted to be his priority. She talked to him, often, and one day he said, maybe we should leave everything behind. It was vague, but she took it as a promise. So she jumped. She left Jonathan, left the kids, not out of lack of love, but because she believed she could get them back later, rebuild somewhere else. With Enzo, she rented a small apartment, emptied her savings, planned a new job in another city, just long enough for Enzo to join her. But Enzo stepped back. Every day, there was an excuse, a problem to solve, a moment not quite right, and she waited. When the day came, their supposed start of a new life, she waited. Blue dress, 2 coffees on the table. He never came. She received a message. I'm sorry. I'm staying with my family. I can't. That was it. No explanation. No call. Just emptiness. She tried to return to Jonathan. He wouldn't take her back. He was hurt, cold, firm. The children need stability, not uncertainty. Lucas refused to speak to her. Zoe stayed silent on the phone. She cried alone every night in her cold little studio. Enzo never answered again. He deleted her messages, blocked her. He had made his choice. His family, his facade. Élise realized she had nothing left. No husband, no children, no lover, no home, no shelter. Only the bitter taste of a decision she thought was brave. Even now, she thinks of them. Jonathan, Lucas, Zoe, Enzo, everything she once had. Everything she threw away for a dream that never came true. Some decisions can't be undone, and some absences are never forgiven.